We're back with another episode. We're back with another episode of Britt Says. And how are you guys doing? I hope you guys had an amazing last week. You guys will definitely have an amazing this week. And before I even start talking to y'all, you know what I'm saying? If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Like right this moment, I need you to hit the subscribe because 81% of you guys that are watching are not even subscribed. And I have a problem with that. A big problem with that. So definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button if you are watching right now. And even if you're a listener, if you stream, go to YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel and hit subscribe and hit the like button and leave a comment, okay? And yeah, and leave 5 stars, review, all that. And I'm gonna tell you again at the end, because you know it's always good to give a reminder. But anyway, I hope you guys had an amazing last week, and you guys are definitely gonna have an amazing this week. And I said it, so it's gonna happen. You feel me? But how's my week been? My week has been a little weird. Like, I don't got no eyelashes on today because my eye has been twitching. I'm pretty sure it's because I look at computer screens all day. Just not even just for Britt Says, but just for everything in general. So, I don't know. My eyes been straining. That's my theory. Or allergies. Because I have really, really bad allergies. As you guys know, I'm always touching my nose. Like, I have bad allergies. Like, I've been trying to dust in here. Like, I be keeping the window closed. Like, but then I want to open the window because I'm like, maybe that'll let some of the whatever's going on out. But I don't know if it's going to let it in. I don't know. So, yeah, my eye been twitching. So, it's annoying. It's not twitching out. It's showing off for the camera. And I don't like that. But, what else? This week, I didn't do much. I intentionally stayed in the house because for the past couple of weeks, I've been going out. And going out costs money. Like, I had a real reminder, like, oh my gosh, I remember I used to go out all the time and spend this much money. Oh my gosh. Like, I had not, you know, gone out and spent money that much in mad long. Like, back to back like that in mad long. Like, I can't even remember. So, I was like, yeah, I want to chill this week. But I went to my cousin's house. My cousin, Taniqua, is getting married. And I'm the host because she want me to be the host of her wedding because I'm the host of a podcast called Britt Says. So that's mad funny to me. But she asked me and I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. I kind of know what to do. So we did like not like a rehearsal, kind of like a meeting yesterday, I guess. And yeah, I was like introducing So yeah, we had to do that this weekend. So I was with my cousins again and that was cool. And yeah, it's been a pretty good week. I guess a mad chill week. I just been stressing because of my eye. My eye driving me crazy. But a weird week to say the least. But nothing unique or special happened. I did my regular day-to-day. Just been keeping busy, making sure I'm getting everything I need to get done. And yeah, I hope you guys had a dope week. Maybe you had some fun. Maybe it was your birthday. Maybe it was somebody else's birthday. Maybe you went to a wedding. I do not know. But I hope you guys had fun. And what's in the news this week? I mean, I haven't seen anything too crazy in the news. One of the top things that I wanted to talk about was the Ma'khia Bryant story. And boy, oh freaking boy. Okay, so with that, for me, I'm, of course, on Ma'khia Bryant's side. That's just on her. But what was just disheartening to me on social media was just that I felt like people were like, oh, he did what he had to do. He did what had to be done. And it's just like, jeez. Like, I understand when you see that picture. Because first of all, in a video, and that's what's so important. I don't want to get too off topic. I'm going to try to stay on topic. But y'all gotta be mindful of just try, like, not everything is worth the argument, not everything is worth the fight. These things be so little, so small. Like, when you watch the video in full, everything happens so fast. I think that video is literally 30 seconds. Like, when people's like, she tried to stab the girl in the pink, if you watch the video in full, you wouldn't even notice it. That's how fast things happen. Like, you ever seen a fight? A fight lasts like 10 seconds, but the person that's in the fight, like when you in a fight, it feels like it lasts forever. But all these things be happening like this. Like, I feel like that whole video was just like people running out. Somebody gets stopped. Then I see this, and then boom, boom, boom. That's the main thing you see is the cop just shoot Ma'khia, and it's just like, and I don't like watching these videos. Like, really don't watch the video, but then I'm like, ugh, let me see, because it's too much stories, it's too much stories going around about the story, and I don't like to not be educated or know exactly what I'm talking about. And somebody be like, well, did you watch a video? And I'd be like, no, I didn't. And if I'm gonna come up here on my platform and talk about something, I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about for the most part. So I just want to say too, like, just like I said, that video happened so quickly. Those arguments, these fights, like, we people be wanting to fight. You be wanting to be tough. I be wanting to fight people too sometimes. But you don't have to fight everybody. You know, everything. These things happen so small. Like, I was just saying too, like, not just saying, like, even me and my husband, we argue, and I don't be even remembering what we be arguing about. Like, I swear to everything I love, like, half the time I don't even remember what we beefing about, like, at all. Like, I feel like when you get older, you rarely remember what you argue with people about. Like, I feel like when I was in high school, I would definitely remember every argument from like freshman year, senior year, junior year, whatever. Like, I could remember something, an argument I had 3 years ago with somebody. But when you get older, certain shit is just remedial to you. Like, I don't be remembering half the shit I be mad about. Like, if I'm beefing with somebody today, some people I remember exactly what the fuck they did, cause you know. But for the most part, I don't be remembering. Like, I be like, yo, I ain't talked to this person in mad long. Why we beefing again? Like, I'm dead. I'm really like that. Like, I really like, and I feel like we all are like that, because the things we be mad at each other about be dumb. It be dumb shit. That's why you don't be remembering. If you can't remember it, it's probably dumb as fuck, or it's traumatizing. But I feel like this is not statistically proven. I feel like 80% of the time some dumb shit. I'm just putting it out there. You feel me? So yeah. But let's get back to the video at hand. So for me, what really disheartened me is I saw like clips of her on TikTok just doing her hair and doing the little dance. I'm just like, yo, she is a 16-year-old girl. Like, she looks so young, so innocent, so just like a kid. Like, she's a kid. Like, she's just a kid. Like, that's what she was giving me. Just like she was just a kid. So for me, if I see just a kid run out of a house and try to stab a grown lady, for me, and she was gonna stab her, for me, I'm not gonna say, oh, she deserved to get killed. I'm not gonna say the cop did his job. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that. For me, if I see a 16-year-old doing something, I'm not saying that it's right for her to stab her. But for my mentality, I'm like, what was this girl going through? That was my first thought. And that's my problem with people, is like, y'all don't even take the time to know somebody's story. Y'all just want to criminalize somebody or bring somebody down. I'm not saying what she did was right. She shouldn't have to stab nobody. But a 16-year-old girl that be on TikTok gelling her edges and freaking just making up dances, eyes of just a youthful angel, something ain't adding up. That's just me. There's a story behind that. So don't try to make it seem like, oh, because I see people saying she want to be grown and that. Like, she didn't want to be grown. Something clearly happened that made her want to do that. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying we don't even know her story. Number two, he shouldn't have shot her 3 times. That was overkill. Number one. And these officers be acting like they don't know how to aim. Like, they know how to aim. Like, I was telling my mother, me and family, we went to the gun range before. I think I brought this up on a podcast or whatever. In Jersey, in New York, they have a gun range, but you only can shoot like a rifle. And then in Jersey, you can shoot like a Glock. So we shot up a Glock, you feel me? So, let me tell y'all. That's how I know they train these cops how to aim. And this is why it's so important just for us to get guns off the street in general. I was number one mad scared when I put the gun in my hand. That was first and foremost. Mad scared, like sweating. Like, I was literally sweating. And then I don't feel comfortable doing gun motions on camera, but okay. So they teach you how to hold the gun. They teach you how to hold it properly. They teach you how to push the thing back. Like, everything is so strategic or whatever. And even when you think you could see your target, if you don't train yourself how to aim, you're still going to shoot wrong. When I started shooting, for me, I felt like I was aiming the gun because I was trying to aim at the target, like the main target in the middle. I felt what I was looking at was the target, but I was shooting in the air. You get what I'm saying? Or I felt like I was aiming at the target, but I was shooting the arm. So I'm pretty sure if you ever been to a gun range or anybody you know, if you have to train yourself to use a gun. And this is why we also need to take guns off the street, because hood people, gangbangers, thugs, they be buying guns to protect themselves, but they never trained themselves how to use that gun. So this is that's what that taught me when I went to the gun range, is that so when people buy guns for protection illegally, don't get no training, don't learn how to shoot a gun, don't know how to do none of that. This is why babies is getting killed in the street, people is getting hit by strays, people is getting hit but the target, because they think they're aiming at the target, but they're aiming at somebody else because they're not trained to learn how to aim. Okay? So that's one of my big things too. So that's what that taught me. So I know that for a fact. They're definitely training officers how to aim. And I was thinking too, why all these people that be getting shot, all these black people that be getting shot in the back? I heard that they allegedly, because you know it's always false information flying everywhere, that they teach them to aim at the back when they feel in danger or something like that, like a main part of the body. Like, I don't have the full terminology, but my thing is like, did you feel you were in danger? Because he was about to stab another person. You couldn't have shot sis on her arm. These officers know how to aim. Trust me. How all of them aiming at the back? They know how to aim. I'm telling you. I'm pretty sure they're very trained on how to shoot. Like, highly trained. They get a lot of training. Don't they get like... I don't even know. But I'm pretty sure one of the top things that they teaching the police is how to aim. I would hope and pray. And they know how to aim at the arm. They know how to aim at the leg, the head, bitch, the back, all that. So I'm not impressed with this aiming shit. Because if y'all motherfuckers don't know how to aim, then y'all shouldn't be on the force. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like... And then he shot boop, 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 boop. Like, you had to shoot her 3 times? Like, all you gotta do is... Once you got somebody down, you can put the handcuffs on them. That's it. Like, you don't have to kill people. Like, they be... And then the scary part, too, is, like, we call the police, like, to help a situation, and then they make it worse. Like, you done killed somebody. Like, I don't know. I just, like, can we call the police? Like, I'm scared to call the police. I don't know about y'all. Like, if something was to ever happen, I'm like, should I call the police? They might shoot me by mistake. Like, I ain't interested in getting shot. I ain't interested in getting killed either or. I honestly don't even want to be tased. Like, if I'm not the target, I don't want to be bothered. I want to be helped. Okay? So, yeah, just prayers for Ma'khia Bryant, you know. And y'all got to remember, these is people kids. Like, people kids. Like, these are actual children. Like, a lot of y'all be missing the point. That's what's wrong with America right now, is that we so desensitized to things. Our bodies are so trained to watch a story and then criticize it, instead of see a story and then be sympathetic and be like, dang, that's a kid. Or I feel like a lot of us watch a story like immediately like, oh, she should have got shot. Oh, she about to stop the girl. Like, no, stop. And be like, damn, she's 16. She was like, think about that. Like, that's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's sister. That might be somebody's niece, somebody's friend. That's a kid. Like, a whole kid. Like, that's crazy. Like, and then they had the mother up there on the news. The shit just happened, because I'm like, dang, she looked like mad chill, but I'm like, she probably in shock. She don't even got the time to really grasp what just happened. They got cameras in her face. Like, this shit is insane. Like, y'all gonna learn. Like, this shit is not a joke. Life is not a joke. Like, a lot of people need to be held accountable for the shit they be doing. You feel me? Like, for real. Like, y'all just got cameras in her face. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing, because I'm looking at her mother, I'm like, she just look normal. Like, you get what I'm saying? Then I found out the incident really happened that day. Like her face just seemed, like when she was talking, it just seemed, she didn't seem sad, like 100% sad. But I was like, oh, because all this shit just happened. So she's in the first stage of grief, which is like shock, having accepted, like that's why she didn't look like a death just took place to me. And I know what that's like. So I'm just like, yo, imagine just cameras in your face. Like, this is crazy. Like, this shit is really crazy. And the foster system too, she was in foster care. Not saying that all foster parents are bad, because they aren't. You know, I know people who have foster kids and they have an amazing life. You feel me? But you know, her situation probably wasn't perfect. And we don't know her story. And I just want to say, you know, prayers to her and Ma'khia Bryant. Justice for Ma'khia Bryant. I don't know how that's gonna end. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but you know, God gonna handle it, you know. Right? Whoever needs to be held accountable eventually get held accountable. Karma is real, you know. What you reap is what you sow. So, and that's the other thing too. The intro is too long. That I want to talk about too. Sometimes, like in these videos as well. You know, I know how it is, because I'm black, obviously, to want to just always just call people out on their wrongdoing and put them in their place. Granted, the police should not be shooting black people, period. You shouldn't shoot nobody just because they're using excessive force. Like, you can tase them, you can just put cuffs on them, you can, I don't know, like I don't know specifically, but killing them ain't the answer. Like, yeah, I just don't understand why we don't shoot arms and even the foot. Like, the foot, that's gravy. Jesus. But even, you shouldn't have to take out your gun in every instance. Like, but I do want to say that I feel like, because we just, like, we keep watching the news, we keep seeing black people getting disrespected, we feel like, yo, I'm not getting disrespected. I'm not going to be one of those black people with these cops. And it's just like, for me, you don't have to go back and forth with the police. People will always get held accountable. Your job is not to hold nobody accountable for something. Period. That's just my opinion. Like, unless it's like personal stuff with your friends and family. I'm not saying in that sense, but even sometimes too, you know, sometimes y'all gotta let shit roll off your shoulders. That person is going to be held accountable eventually. I'm telling you, everything is a revolving circle. Like, don't try to put certain things in your hands. That's not for you to handle, baby love. Like, that's not for you to handle. That person's gonna get handled eventually. I'm telling you, karma is a bitch. That person is gonna get handled. You don't have to handle it. You don't have to deal with it. Just remain calm. Just remain calm. Remain calm. Be nice. They're gonna get handled. These motherfuckers, even I see it today. Even when I watch the news, even when I see a lot of stuff going on now these days, like I seen something happen at my school at Buff State with racism. And I'm just thinking, when I was in Buffalo, New York, there was so much racism and things that we experienced, but we never spoke on it. And I'm seeing now that they're speaking on it. And I'm like, yo, y'all motherfuckers better leave black people the fuck alone. I'm telling y'all, everything is going to be handled. Everything. We watching it before our eyes. Is it getting better? No. You see Derek Chauvin, he's guilty on all counts. Things are going to get better. I really believe, I know a lot of people like, this is going to be this way forever. People's going to get held accountable. Things is all, y'all think people could just be evil and get away with it and be racist and nasty and get away with it? Y'all really believe that? No, you don't. I'm telling you. Stop putting things in your hands that don't need to be put in your hands. Let's just put it that way. But that intro was a long hello, good morning. Rest in peace to Ma'khia Bryant. Rest in peace to George Floyd. Justice has been served. And yeah, I'm just, you know, that was good this week. I totally forgot about that, how that was like really good. I already knew, oh gosh, let me talk about it a little bit briefly. I already knew he was gonna be found guilty. Because the thing with Derek Chauvin and George Floyd was that video, like, even if you didn't want to watch it, you probably watch it. Even if you didn't watch the video, you saw the picture. Like, that shit was on camera. Like, it was clear as day he killed him. Like, it was just blatantly, like, it would just be, and then it was such a universal thing. Like, it hit the overseas. Like, it was just too much for y'all to make that man not guilty. If they would have made Derek Chauvin not guilty, yeah. And y'all, and like I said, once again, y'all gotta think about the family. Like me, I couldn't watch the trial because even when they were showing clips of the trial, it was peeving me to keep hearing somebody try to explain how George Floyd died. Like, it was peeving me. So imagine being a family member. Like, I was like, but like every time I heard them say, yes, when he died from suffocation or something, I'm like, but we know this. Like, it's on camera. Like, it was annoying me. Like, I could not even watch clips. It was just, it sounds so repetitive and so redundant, and it was just on camera. Like, we see it. We witnessed it. Like, I don't need you to explain it to me. But I know that everybody in America, one thing they're going to do is give you a case, you know. You get a case, you get a chance to testify no matter what. So that I truly understood. That we have that right, but just watching it was draining. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, dang, I can't imagine being related to George Floyd. Like, I would flip. Like, I can't. Like, I can't. Like, I can't. I cannot. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, but I already knew that they was gonna have to give him some time in jail. Like, I was like, I don't know what they're gonna do, but he gonna be found guilty. He's going to jail. I knew it. I just knew. I knew he was, like, you can't. And you know Minnesota was never pussy, honey. They was going to flip that city upside down. You hear me? What? 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 Y'all think that they was going to find Derek Chauvin not guilty? Y'all really thought that? When I tell you this country would have went up in flames, oh, we would have saw the last days. We would have saw the last days. I really believe that. I really believe that. I really do. Like, it would have been scary out here. Like, it would have been like, what's that thing y'all always say? I don't say it. I forgot the name of it. Like, when people just start bugging out, stealing, like, you know, just stealing, robbing. Like, we would have been looking out in the world, out your window. You would just see the world in flames. Like, that's literally what I would have imagined had Derek Chauvin not been guilty. Like, it just would have been like World War III. I just feel like the whole world would have just started smashing car windows. Like, it would have just been crazy. It would have been insane. It would have been a riot across the 50 states. Like, it would have just been like it would have just been undeniable. Like, it would have, and I don't even know how they would have been able to come back from that. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm happy that I'm just imagining it. That's why it would have been like something you see in a movie. But I'm just happy that he was definitely found guilty because he deserved to be found guilty. Period. But that was the longest intro in Britt Says history. But it needed to be said. But yeah. So yeah, girl. So today's topic is about fear. Love that. Right? So what made me want to talk about fear? Because I be having mad fears and stuff. And you know what? I think fear is like one of the top reasons for stress and anxiety. I won't say the top because I feel like it's mad other stuff like you know, just maybe like dealing with trauma. If you've been through something crazy, like it's mad stuff that correlates to it. But I feel like fear is like the start of anxiety, if that makes sense. Because I feel like, you know how like when you young, you kind of be like stressed out and you be having anxiety or whatever. And it's like, you ain't even really been through nothing yet. Like, you have not experienced anything, maybe for some, like too traumatic yet, like in your life. But one of the things that constantly stresses us out is just like the fear of not knowing, the fear of failing, the fear of messing up. Like, you don't even know what's going to happen, sis, you scared. Like, you didn't even try it yet. Or like, just, you know, and I think too, it's one of the key things that prevents us from doing dope things, is just being in fear. Like, we got to live fearless sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it prevents people from being who they can ultimately be at their best. At any aspect. It'll prevent you from getting a promotion at work, from moving on to a job. You know how people be like, I don't like responsibility, or just anything, like moving. You know how sometimes you want to like move to another state. Like my cousin, she's going to another country, to live in another country for school, and I was just thinking like, yo, that's dope. I always wanted to like leave New York. Like I always wanted to move to California, like always. But you know, my life has changed drastically. That's one of the top reasons why I can't do it now. You know, I got a whole man. You know, I've been through some shit. I mean, we could get up and move to California, but on what bias? You know what I'm saying? But I always would be scared to like get up and move, but I've always wanted to do that. Like, get up and move to like another state. What else? It's like, people just be scared of everything, like for no reason. Like people just be mad scared. We be mad, scary. So before most topics, what do we like to do? Expand our mind. Expand your mind, expand your mind, expand your mind. So, in an article on drnorthup.com titled, Why Fear is Bad for Your Health, he writes, why fear is so damaging to your health? The biochemical state that fear creates in your body adversely affects your immunity and increases your susceptibility to viruses and bacteria that are all around you. For example, most people who have the bacterium that causes pneumonia in their respiratory system at all times, but it stays in check until your vibration is lowered in some way. Here's how fear lowers your immunity. Fear shuts down your gut. Fear short circuits your brain. Fear can lead to chronic health problems. Fear attracts what you fear most. And in this one it says, all emotions including fear are energy when you let fear run your life. You attract to more of whatever it is that you are afraid of. If you're afraid of illness, you will attract it. If you're afraid of being alone, you will be alone for as long as it takes to get over that fear. If you're afraid to die, you will never live fully and joyfully. Oh my gosh, that was a bit much. But yes, so fear. I feel like it's just an important topic to talk about fear, and I do believe that, you know, like I said, that fear is one of the top reasons to me for anxiety. And I think that why are we fearful of things? I think fear is, for the most part, on a social level, is just the fact that you don't know. So because you don't know what's going to happen, how something is going to turn out, you're scared. And naturally, you shouldn't be scared of something you don't fully know. You shouldn't, even though you don't know the answer, and I get that, we shouldn't be scared. We should just be trustworthy. Trustworthy of ourselves, trustworthy of our higher being, trustworthy that things will be okay. And we don't do that. And it's so weird. It's one of the weirdest things. Like, every day we live not knowing. Like, no matter what. Like, that's just life. You wake up, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know who you're going to run into. You just don't know. You don't know nothing. We don't know nothing, but we still mad scared of it. And that's real. That's a real feeling. That's understandable to be scared of not knowing what's going to happen. I understand that in a certain circumstance. And in a certain way, because it's like, you want to be here for the long haul. You might be scared that something might happen to you. You may not want to go to the hospital. You may not, you may not want to lose somebody. It's just anything, like it's so, I understand that, but it's like, if nobody told you something was going to happen, I don't think you should be upset. It's like a weird ideology. It's like, what can I think of? If you, like, let's say you're buying a house and you know that when you went to the viewing, you knew that the walls were white, right? You know that for a fact. When you went and you saw it with your own two eyeballs. But let's say the night before you move in, you have a fear that the walls are going to be green. That's mad weird. Like, why are you fearing something? Well, but that's different because you have affirmation that you know that the walls are white. Okay, so that was probably a little bit of a bad example, but it's just saying, like, just don't fear the unknowing. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, all right, let me think of a better example. It's just like, and you've been in this life game for mad long. Like, I'm 29. Like, all right, granted, 29 is still young, but it's like you already know what it is and what the fuck it ain't. Like, why are you gonna be scared? Like, don't be scared. Like, or when you get a new job, sometimes you get scared. Like, am I gonna mess up? Am I gonna fuck up everything? Like, no. Just go in there. And when you go in with confidence and not be fearful, you usually, even when you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you look like you know what you're doing. It's just the same way as a dog. Like, a dog can sense fear, so then it start acting the fuck up. Like, then it might attack you because you acting scary, and it's making them feel weird that you acting scary. Like, you could use that ideology in anything if you think about it. Like, you acting weird, and because you acting weird, it's making me act weird. Okay, so I feel like I gotta act weird. You know what I'm saying? Just go into things without fear. Don't be afraid to, you know, get up and do things. Like, think positive. Think positive. Don't be scared. Like, the next time you want to do something, get up and go do it. Like, I know, like I said, my examples, like, I was always scared to just, like, get up and move to another state. And it's like, don't be scared. Don't make up things that could possibly happen. Like, well, first of all, whatever could happen in another state could happen in your current state. That's number one too. So a lot of times I feel like we be scared of things that could happen anywhere. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, people be like, oh, I'm scared to, I don't even know, date right now because I don't know, I got a full-time job. My man might find too much time to cheat on me. But a part-time job, your man might find time to cheat on you. So you might lose out on your love because you're making up shit in your head that you have no realm of bias behind it. You get what I'm saying? People might be scared to, what else? We're so scared of so many things. To move up in their job because they just feel like they can't be a manager. They can't tell people what to do. They're scared to tell people what to do. What you scared to tell somebody what to do? What the fuck they going to? Like, as long as you tell it, it's all about respect. As long as you do things the right way, you can get things done. And if they wanted to promote you or bring you up, then you're capable of doing that job. What are you scared of? What are you scared of responsibility for? Yeah, I ain't gonna front. Having more responsibility is mad annoying. I ain't gonna come up here and act like it's like, I'd be like, yo, I miss being, when I was a manager, I used to be like, I love being a sales associate because you don't got no responsibility. But that's fair as well. Like, you scared of responsibility? You scared of being in charge? Why are you scared for? Like, don't be scared. Nothing's gonna happen to you. That's mad. Fear is actually a weird ass thing when you talk about it. Like, as I'm talking about it, I think fear is a weird ass topic. Like, that shit is weird. Like, how you scared to move up in your job? How you scared to move? Like, that's some creepy shit. Like, when I say it aloud, like, say it out loud. Like, really say what you scared of out loud. That's weirdo shit. That's weird. That's really weird. I'm scared to be in a relationship. You're a weirdo. Like, that's weird. Like, if you really think about it. Oh my gosh. A revelation. Like, think about that. Like, you saying, I'm scared to be in a relationship because I don't want to get cheated on. Well, girl, the fuck? Well, boy, the fuck? Like, that's mad. You don't even know if it's gonna happen, number one. Number two, that's love is a risk. So, I mean, like, we don't know. That's mad crazy to, like, be scared of something you don't know. Like, it makes sense because the fear of not knowing. But because you don't know, that means there's a probability that it might come out good. So, what are we even talking about now? Like, I feel like if you're afraid of the not knowing, you just think the outcome is gonna be bad. That's what fear is too. It's like you're thinking negative. Me, I want to be the type of person, I come into something with excitement because I just think it's going to be good, period. Like, I want to come into something with just the idea that it's going to be on point. Like it's just going to be perfect. Like, I want that type of energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you are in fear of doing something, you're just thinking, to me, is something bad is gonna happen. How about you think something's just good is gonna happen? This is just gonna be good. Like, don't even think about the con. Just think about the pros. What about that? What about that? You know, like, I know, like, some people, they'll be scared to, again, like, move. Like, I remember when I moved. Was I scared? I was scared only because... Was I scared? I wasn't really scared. I wasn't really scared. Like, the first couple of days, like, I would have drink. Like, I ain't gonna front. All right. Like, I remember the first couple of days when I moved out my parents' house, I would have, like, dreams, like, dead bodies was living in my... This is creepy, and I don't want to be creepy. But, like, dead bodies was, like, on my ceilings. Like, I was being weird. Like, so you do get a little nervous for no reason, but then you just, like, after a couple of days, like, you start going home. Like, you be like, all right, calm down. Like, relax. And then having roommates make you feel weird too. Like, I lived co-ed, so I used to be like, ugh, living with guys was like weird. Like, for me, in a sense, like, I didn't think it would be, but it was. And then, yeah, so having roommates made me a little weird. Like, I feel like people think that it would be comforting to know that there's other people living in the house with you, but I didn't feel like that. I feel like I would have had more comfort living alone, actually, personally, than living with people. Because when you live with people that are complete strangers, number one, you don't know what the hell they doing, what they plan to do, how they move, who they inviting over. You don't know. You don't know their cleanliness level. You don't got no space in the fridge. Like, you just don't have that. You know, it's different. I think living by yourself is way more easier. I tell people all the time, like, I think everybody should live with a roommate at least once in their adult life, because that's gonna mature the fuck out of you. And I'm not talking about college, because college has mediators. College has RAs and resident assistants. And you could switch your roommate if you don't get along with your roommate. In the real world, there's no RA. Your landlord don't give a fuck about if you don't get along with your roommate. What they give a fuck about is if you're going to pay your rent. Don't nobody give a fuck if y'all got beef. They don't do that. They don't do counseling. Counseling is something you have to pay for. Like, they don't do none of that. And if you don't like your roommate, that's on you, because you're on a lease. And you can't leave this apartment unless you want to break the lease, bitch. So it pays to get a new roommate. And then when you move out, now you gotta find a new place. Like, you see how, like, in college, if you want to move out, get a new roommate, they gonna find you a new room. They gonna make sure it's cleared out. Like, they gonna set you up for success. No, you gotta set yourself up for success. So if you decide you want to break your lease, you better have somewhere to live. You gotta find somewhere to live. You better have first month and last month security. You might need new furniture if you want new. Like, it's different. So that roommate shit, preparing you in college, that shit is a dub. I mean, it could prepare you in some ways just how to better deal with people in your social life. Like, at work, I do believe that college taught me that, in a sense, with, like, living with roommates is just like, oh, like, I would always compare certain people, like, at work and stuff, to people I went to school with. Like, I'll be like, oh, she or he is the blank, blank, blank at the job. Like, when I first started working. Now, I don't use those terminologies because I done met so many blank, blank, blanks. Yeah, that what I say. I don't want to say no names. But, yeah, I would literally compare, like, certain people I would meet to, like, oh, this person reminds me of blank, blank, blank. And it would make me be able to know how to deal with them, because I've dealt with that at school. So it does teach you how to be social without your parents being there and your family and all that stuff. It teaches you how to be an individual. Moving out with roommates just teaches you, and I know a lot of you don't probably even have to deal with these things. Probably only people who live in, like, LA and New York City and like maybe bigger states got to deal with roommates. Like, some of y'all are like, bitch, ain't nobody had no roommate. But if you have to live with strangers, like the real world on MTV type shit, like you're going to mature. You have to learn how to be sympathetic. You have to be like, damn. Like, it's to the point, like, you be like, I can't buy this much groceries because it's not that much groceries in the fridge, and that's insensitive. Or you got to make sure you cook at a certain time and just, like, think, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be this loud, or maybe I shouldn't do this. Or you got to clean the tub after this time. Like, you just always got to be mindful of a person you don't even give a fuck about. Like, the fuck? So, yeah. That was a little off topic, but you know, as it pertains to me, like, being in, you know, fear of, like, moving out, I don't feel like I was in fear of it, honestly. I wasn't really, because I always wanted to. I wanted to move out since I was, like, 18, to be honest. Like, I was that type of girl. Like, I was just, like, my parents, like, my mom, like, they let me do what I want, but they just was, like, a dub, like, any of my friends be like, your parents let you do whatever you want, and they, like, do, but they do, like, they do it with shadiness in their eyes and in their spirit and in their soul, and you can feel the shadiness, and it's like you don't want to feel the shadiness. You know what I'm saying? And you want your independence, and like I feel like you can't properly date and be you authentically if you living with your parents, and that's just that on that. Like, at least for me, I couldn't be who I wanted to be authentically. Like, I don't want to be and like smashing nobody's car. And understanding like the guy can have his own place, and yes, I've dated guys with their own place as well, but still I wanted my own shit too. Like, why I gotta go to the nigga crib, or like we gotta get a hotel, or like, you know what I'm saying, like things like that I just was not interested in. And I don't know if it's a market for people who are scared to move out or whatever, or scared to move to another state. I'm pretty sure it's a big market. Well, maybe not a big. I just feel like everybody I know just be getting up and going and leaving their motherfucking house, because I feel like people's parents be annoying as fuck. Like, majority of my friends, like, even if they live in situation is bad, even family, they will not go back to their parents' crib. That's just that on that. And not even just parents, some of them can't even live with family. Like, so most people like that I know closely, that's why I'm like, is it a big market for that? I'm not really sure, but most people I know, especially at my age, they just like, bitch, I can't do my parents. They fucking annoying. Like, they be on that type of time. Like, or they might live with a friend, they might, but honey, they ain't going home. That they won't do. Motherfuckers say, I ain't going back home. I said that too. I'm like, I ain't going back home. Even after this, bitch, I will live in my car before I go home. My parents ain't annoying. It's just like, you just don't want to be home. Like, like, it's just not happening. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, fear is just, it's just something you don't need in your spirit. And it's so many different types of fear, right? Remember one time I had an episode about gamophobia, like fear of commitment, fear of needles. I saw something that was a weird ass fear. I forgot, but it's fear of water. Like, why are we scared? Like, even people with real phobias, we look at that as like a disease. No, because why are you so frightened? And you know, it's like, you know, you okay. Why are you so scared? It's weird. Like, we need to stop. Like, fear should not control any of us. Like, the more I talk about fear, it fears me. Fear is fearing me. Like, I'm not gonna be scared of nothing no more. Like, dead ass, I'm about to walk out here fearless, because fear is not appropriate. And let me read something else from the article I wanted to read. It was saying fear short circuits your brain, right? So it says the flow of stress hormones creates an overactive mind by flooding the amygdala portion of your brain. This makes you unable to think rationally as you react to signals sent from your amygdala. So, all right, let's step back. This makes you unable to think rationally as you react to signals sent from your amygdala. So this is what I'm talking about, why I think fear is so strange. Even it says, yeah, you're starting to do irrational shit because you're afraid. So it's just like, you afraid of starting a new job, you go into work and you start doing extra read all about it weirdo shit. Now you really looking crazy. Or you're so afraid to be in, or sometimes people who are afraid to be in a relationship, they'll get in front of a guy that they think is cute and then they just start being mean to him because they like, I don't want to be in a relationship, so I'm gonna be mean to him so that he don't like me. And like, it's like you being really weird and irrational. Like you're like, imagine I'm the guy, you the girl, and like you're being mean to me and I'm just like, why are you being mean to me? I didn't ask for this. But I don't know that because you're being mean because you're just scared of commitment. You're scared of relationships. And so you're being mean. That's being irrational. Like, to be mean to somebody just to prevent yourself from potentially being in a relationship is insane. Like, that's really virtually fucking insane. Like, that's insane. That's insane. Like, if you really think about it. Or you just scared of somebody, so or when you're a kid, you scared of somebody, so you stop going to school. Like, that's a bit irrational. It is. I mean, unless they said they're gonna kill you or something, bitch. But if nobody said they was gonna kill you, or like maybe beat you to a bloody pulp or something, it's getting aggressive. This podcast is getting aggressive. Then I mean, there should be no reason you should be afraid of anything. Like, if you know for a fact you breathing, and for the most part, even still, let's say this. How can I forget this part? This is the most important part. Let's say, for instance, you do get up and get a job, and bitch, you get fired. Okay, are you breathing? Are you alive? Let's say you do get in a relationship and the motherfucker cheat on you and y'all gotta break up. Okay, and are you still breathing? Are you alive? Let's say you do move to another state and shit don't work out and you a broke ass bitch and you gotta go back home. Okay, are you still breathing? Are you alive? Let's say you do start a company and the company fell. Okay, well, are you still breathing? Are you still alive? Like, yeah, you could fuck up. And okay, like, that's the other thing is, like, shit happens. Like, are you going to be afraid? Like, you're going to be scared? Like, you're frightened? On what bias? Like, okay, and if it fuck up, okay. Like, that's another way to prevent yourself from being afraid. It's just like, okay, this shit could either go good or it could go bad, or it could go okay. It don't gotta be perfect, because ain't shit perfect all the time in the beginning. It might just start off okay and then it gets better, and that's okay. There's no reason to be, you know, acting crazy over anything. Like, what are we acting crazy for? Like, if you really think about it, like, okay, like, a lot of us need to start doing that. It's like, okay, and if shit don't pop off, all right, if I lose this job, I get another one. If this company fuck up, I build another one. And if this relationship fuck up, bitch, I'll get another man. And fuck you mean. Anyway, when in this overactive state, your brain perceives events as negative and stores all of the details surrounding the perceived danger, including sight, sounds, odors, time of day, weather, and so on, as negative memories. Later, those same sight, sounds, and other details can trigger fear by bringing back the initial memory. In some cases, you may feel afraid without consciously knowing why. This can lead to a constant state of fear and anxiety, or even PTSD. Fear can also impair formation of the long-term memories and cause damage to certain parts of your brain, such as the hippocampus. Finally, fear can interrupt processes in your brain that allow you to regulate emotions. Okay, so, see, fear just could fuck you up, period. That's what it's giving. Because it could cause permanent damage to your brain. And of course, PTSD is a common factor of fear, right? Because it's just the same way, like, people who've been in the army, if they hear like alarm or sirens, they start to get fear. They start to get in like mode. Like, that's a deeper thing of fear, and that's what I said in the beginning of the episode. If you have fear because of trauma, then that's a different topic, but you still need to go get help. You need to go get therapy. I think for PTSD, though, so you might need a psychiatrist for that, right? Don't quote me. I am not specialized in that. But, I mean, yeah, I think you might need a psychiatrist for, like, severe PTSD. Or you could do therapy too. But yeah, like when it comes to PTSD, and sometimes we're not even, and that's another thing, is like sometimes you may not know what triggers your fear mongers and things like that. You may not know what it is that is, you may be like, and I didn't think about that, because now I'm thinking like, oh, you just scared that you're gonna fuck up. What if you scared and you really don't even know why you scared? Like what if? Like what if you really dead scared of something and you genuinely don't know why you're scared? Like sometimes, you know, I'll do stuff and I'll be like, but why are you afraid? You already did this before. Like what are you scared of? Like what's something, like I be scared to do things that I've already done like mad times. Like I could have done it like 3 times. Like let's say I wanted to go back to school or something like that, right? I would be scared to go back to school because I'm like, I don't want to fail, I don't want to mess up. But since you did a whole 4 years of school, and people just like think, oh, school is, when they think of school, they think of college. But not only have I done college, I've done high school, I've done middle school, I've done elementary school, but you did school. So how long were we in school? Like 12 to 16 years? Like, and then people be dead scared to go back to school. I get that you're embarking on a new journey and maybe a higher degree or whatever the case may be, but it's just like, it's still kind of weird to be in fear. Maybe you have some PTSD, bitch, from your first time in college. I know I do. It was too much schoolwork. How you say it was too much schoolwork, and that's basically what school is. But yeah, so a lot of stuff you don't even know why you're afraid of doing it. And even if you're really good at it, like certain stuff like I could do for myself that I wouldn't want to do for people, because that's weird, because I'll be scared that I'll mess it up for other people, which is very weird. Like those are weird. See, those are things that don't make sense, and those are things that make you think like a lot of shit be unnecessary. Like a lot of shit be wild unnecessary. I never thought about that. Like sometimes like I don't like doing certain things that I do fairly good, like for other people though, because I'm scared to mess it up. That's just like the same thing. Like maybe a graphic designer wouldn't want to do graphic design. Like, no, I don't want to do that for other people, or I don't want to sell, or your paints, I don't want to sell my paints, and I don't think people will like it. And it's like, you've been doing this for mad years, mad people be giving you compliments. Like at least give it a shot, give it a try, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, people just be mad weird. We just be mad weird, and we just need to stop being afraid. If you're not in danger, if you not like, if it's not at least a freaking 10% chance you gonna die, bitch, then it should be no reason it should be no reason for you to be scared of anything. Like we need to be fearless. All of us should be fearless. We shouldn't be scared of nothing. Especially if you got God in your life, a higher being, whatever you believe in, you shouldn't be scared of nothing. And you were just created so uniquely, so defined, fearfully and wonderfully made. Like baby, like you're good. You're good to go. Every day of the week, you're good to go. Okay, so yeah, you shouldn't be worried about anything. You shouldn't be worried about not a damn thing. Yeah, I feel like we should all going forth, whatever you want to do it. Even if it's stupid, even if you feel it's stupid, because a lot of times stuff you want to do is stupid. Like, let's try this year, even though we're pushing close to half the year, which is crazy. But even if you, I don't know, like even though we're almost halfway into the year, like just let's live like fearfully. Like whatever you want to do, just go do it. Like, bitch, I want to do this today. Just do it. Don't even think of it. Think about it. Just go do it. We living fearfully. I'm living fearfully. I'm about to start wilding out. Period. I'm gonna start doing dumb shit. All right, now I'm just playing. All right, if you're gonna live fearfully, you cannot just do dumb shit. What is wrong with me? No one's gonna do dumb stuff, okay? I don't know what I'm talking about. See, it was the blood clot last week. This week, I'm talking about doing dumb shit. I'm just saying, like, I'm about to just start doing me. Like, I kind of live fearfully already a little bit. Just like well, let me step back. I feel like on a social aspect, I live kind of fearlessly. A little bit. I do. I feel like people who come on social media, who go on the internet and state their opinion, that's a little, you living a little on the edge, bitch. Because at any moment, anything could pop off. I always think about that. And Especially when you go on the internet, putting up your opinion. I feel like even if you go on the internet and just put up your craft, if you just do makeup in here, bitch, somebody could go in there and be like, your hair looks crazy. And you just on the internet like, you just braiding your hair. Whether you think it's, you didn't get confirmation your shit was fly. You just know your shit is fly. And you went on the internet and you said, I'm going to teach people how to do hair. I'm going to teach people how to do makeup. I'm going to teach people how to do their nails. Like, that in some way is living type fearlessly, you know, just putting up your work. If you're an artist and you just put up your work, or try, like, that's living a little bit fearlessly. It is, because that's audacious in some ways. Some people are very scared to put themselves on the internet and on, you know, social media in front of potentially millions and millions of people who could watch a video or see a clip of something you said or you did. So, you know, in some ways, in a social aspect, I do live my life fearlessly. But yes, I do get very afraid of certain things and how things may turn out. And I really, really, really want to stop doing things like that. And I'm doing that starting today. I'm about to, now I say purr like Roland Ray. Like, I don't want to say purr. I want to say period. And I think you guys should join me on my journey of living fearlessly. Like, just like be carefree. I bet I would have a dope ass life if I lived super carefree too. And you too. I think people who, like, that's why I always say I admire people who genuinely don't give a fuck. Like, you ever met somebody that just be bugging the fuck out? Like not, yeah, even crazy people. Yes, I do. Sometimes I admire them and I find them very intriguing. Like, people that I'm around, that I've been around, that are really wild and outlandish, I really like them. I may not want to hang with them all the time, but I really do find them intriguing. Like, I be finding, like, some people who just really crazy and outlandish, like, they might know something we don't know. Because a person who could just go outside and just be wilding the fuck out, they don't care. They're not doing nothing to hurt nobody. They're not doing it. They're just doing what they want to do. Some of y'all like, Brittany, they're on drugs. No, some people dead be wild and they just don't be on drugs. Like, or they just be outlandish. And I like that shit because I feel like they're fearless. Like, I find them very intriguing, or whatever the case may be. Do I want to be like that? No, I don't want to be too far off. But I do sometimes admire people who don't give a fuck. But not giving a fuck too much could get you in a lot of trouble. Because I do know some people, like, I remember, like a while ago. Where was I working? Was it Flushing? I don't remember. But it was, oh no. It was yeah, it was Flushing. It was Flushing. And it was this guy. He would be on the train. He was young. And I would see him on the train all the time. That's what I hate about the train. It's like when you take a certain route all the time, you see some of the same motherfuckers. But he would go on different trains. So it would be mad weird. Like, one time I saw him at my stop. He used to be on the F line. Like, he was just like this young, like, he was like a mixed kid. And I think he was on drugs. He would just be like, he would be bugging out, but he didn't look, some people just look crazy. That's a different topic. I don't want to get too deep into the topic. But anyway, he would be on a train. Like, one time he was on a train. And he got into an argument with somebody for no reason. Like, he started trouble. I seen him 3 times, y'all. On two on the same train line, but different stops. So he must have just been bugging the fuck out. So the first time I saw him, I was with my friend Laura. We was on the train, right? And he started, like, yelling at somebody for, like, saying excuse me or something. Like, he was just bugging out. And then, but he just kept yelling at the person. Like, the person was saying nothing back and he just kept yelling at them. So then some lady defended him, the man that he was yelling at. And then he was like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, suck my dick. Like, ODing, suck your daddy's dick. Like, he was crazy. He was literally crazy. And I was just like, he's crazy. And then my friend Laura, she was like, Brittany, I'm scared. I really don't. She's like, Brittany, I'm scared. I really don't like when people act like that on the train. I'm scared. Like, she was mad scared. Talking about fear. And I'm like, Laura, just everybody calm down. I was like, Laura, just calm down. Like, let's just be quiet. Don't make no eye contact. Because he was bugging out. Like, he just was bugging out. Like, he started yelling at the lady. I'm like, damn. And then everybody was scared to defend her because she defended the guy. And then she got blacked on. And he was like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. I should spit on you. Like, he was ODing. It was scary. So that was strike 1. I never thought I would run into him again. I'm on the A train. And I see him. why did I see him on the A train and he looked angry. Like, he looked like he had just gotten into a fight and then he got on the train, but he was just like huffing and puffing. That was the second time I see him. Mind you, this guy was young. The third time, this pissed me off because I saw him at my train stop. Like, where my parents live in Queens, that place is not like like, that's not somewhere you see a crazy person that you see everywhere on the train. Like, it was so weird. He was at that stop and he spoke to me, bitch. He was like, I got weed. I'm like, lovely, good for you. He was like, I mean, I can give you weed, you don't gotta buy it. I was like, I know the crazy man is not trying to talk to me right now. It was the craziest thing. I was pissed. I was so pissed. But I say all this to say, was he in some way intriguing to me? Yes, because you could tell he was just living wild. He was just not giving a fuck. He was willing to curse anybody out, tell anything about themselves. But the thing with him, I remember one day I was thinking, like, he eventually gonna get caught up. And I haven't seen him, obviously because I drive, but around that time, I didn't get a car until I started, like, 3 years later. I had never seen him again. And my theory was that he eventually probably went to jail or something. So that's all I say that all to say is, like, if you live too fearlessly, if you really out here wilding, eventually somebody gonna beat your ass, you might get killed, or you might end up in jail. So you can't live but so much fearlessly. You gotta have a little, I don't want to say fear because you don't need to fear God, but you, actually, that's not living with fear, that's living with sense. Like, you can't just go outside and just be cursing motherfuckers out, threatening to spit in bitches' faces, telling them to suck your dick. You can't just be going outside, fighting people. Like, you can't do that because you're going to get in trouble. So that's a different type of fearlessness, and that's not what we try to be on. I do find it intriguing, but I do know that it will lead you to places you don't want to be, ultimately. But, so I think that you can live fearfully, but make sure you're living with some sense. Right? So, yeah, you might want to go outside and curse somebody the fuck out. But is that smart? I don't think so. Right? So if you angry, don't go outside and start punching people, you know, shooting shit up. You go home, you drink some tea, you drink some wine, you drink whatever you do that's not excessive. Get some sleep, watch your favorite TV show, laugh, giggle, chuckle. That's it. Y'all be doing too much. That's your problem. Y'all be doing the most. And so you gotta make sure you tread lightly when you play with fear, living fearfully. Make sure you tread lightly. Tread lightly, you know. Make sure you still got some sense. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. That was a little long episode, at least for me. And yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe. If you're listening, make sure you subscribe to my channel too on YouTube. Make sure you leave 5 stars, leave a review. Follow me on Instagram, _Brittstagram. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing week. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.